Hello, my name is Violet. I am so happy to introduce lovely Renita Boyle and the wonderful Joan Haig, presenting Going Elsewhere.
Hi, I am Joan Haig, and I'm the author of a book called Tiger Skin Rug. I'm also the editor of a collection called Stay at Home, which is stories and poems and all sorts of lovely little pieces of writing written by 40 Scottish authors or authors across Scotland for children, for you, all about lockdown. I am based in the Scottish borders, but I have two amazing nephews, Frederick and Thomas, who live in Dumfries and Galloway. So I am extra excited to be part of the big dog festival this year. And I'd like to say a huge thank you to the organisers for inviting me along.
And I'm Renita, resident storyteller for the Wigtown Festival Company, tale teller extraordinaire, and I'm delighted to be here with the lovely Joan today, and we are going to have some fun. And we're going to say,
welcome to Going Elsewhere, where we're going to ask you to step through the doors in your imagination to get to other times, other spaces and places.
we have several activities to inspire your creativity. You can create a story, a poem, a picture, or even a comic.
So get your pens and your pencils and your paper at the ready. And after each activity, you can press pause and then you can go away, do your creative work and come back and just press play to start again.
Or you can simply keep watching for the next activity.
We hope you have such a fun time, and please send us whatever you create today. So let's go elsewhere.
Elsewhere! Hi, this is a poem called Happy Place. And while I read this poem, I'd like to think about where your happy place might be. When the sun is on the rise, you gotta get up and move. Grab a quick cuppa and get into your groove. Make your own adventure, unplug and feel the beat. Twitter with the birds and really learn how to tweet. Now don't be feeling low, put a smile on your face. Come on, everybody, find your happy place. Swim in the sea, find driftwood in the bay. Get down with some Lego and remember how to play. Gather juicy brambles and make your jelly jam. Read a book, build a fort, or make a snowman. Have a duvet day. It's really no disgrace. Come on, everybody, find your happy place. Dance around the kitchen with your family in tow. Crank up the volume on the vintage radio. Whistle while you work. Live life to your own tune. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, reach up and touch the moon. Lie on your back in a wide open space. Come on, everybody, find your happy place. Bare your soul and your feet on the first day of spring. Do the Highland Fling if the Highland Fling's your thing. Get your crafty on, skip stones across the lake. And if you like to bake, make life a piece of cake. Watch the sunset vanish like a worry without trace. Come on, everybody, find your happy place. Ride your bike, take a hike, come rain or come shine. Wander in the deep wild woods, write a poem in rhyme. Watch the smallest insect, climb the tallest tree. Swing high into blue skies and see what you can see. Bow your head to pray or raise your hands to praise. Come on, everybody, find your happy place. Make every day a daisy day. Live with all your heart. Give more than you get because to love is such an art. Hold a wrinkled hand and sing a lullaby. Let the tears flow when it's time to say goodbye. Find what is human in every human face. Come on, everybody, find your happy place. Splash in puddles, jump in fallen leaves. It's your life, can you dig it? Plant some seeds and pull some weeds. Hear the bees a buzzing, stop and smell the bloom. Open up the windows and give your spirit room. Make every moment sacred, fill it up with grace. Come on, everybody, find your happy place. Lots of inspiration for you to find your happy place today, so you can pause now to go elsewhere, push play to return, or keep going for the next activity.
Great. So Renita took you there to your happy place. I think my happy place might be inside a thunderstorm or inside the pages of one of my favorite books. We're going to travel now in a little activity that I'm going to ask you to do to somewhere else in the world. And we're going to stay, for the time being, we're going to stay in our planet. Now, some of the other activities might send you off to other places and other worlds, but today, and this one, we're staying on planet Earth. This is called Spin the Globe, this activity. And if you've got a globe at home, you can spin your own globe. But basically what we do, it's really easy. We're just going to spin, close our eyes, and press our finger to stop the globe and see where on earth we might end up. And it could be absolutely anywhere. And there's two things that you could do today. I'm going to set you two challenges. One, the option is yours. One is to write something creative. So imagine what it would be like in the place that we land up. What does it smell like in that place? If you were to be in the wilds in that place, what animals might you encounter? And what does it feel like in that place? Is it warm and hot and sticky, or is it a cold place that's quite shivery and frosty? So think about those things. You might also want to think about the most important question, which is, what is the food like in that place? What will you be having for lunch? The second option, when we stop in the country that we'll hopefully land up in, I hope we don't land up, we could land up in the bottom of the ocean somewhere in the Pacific or something like that. But I want you to find out as much as you can, because the second thing you can do is take a factual look at this activity. And I know there's lots of children out there who love fact books, science, history, culture, who just love learning about all different facts about our world and beyond. So if that's you, if you prefer non-fiction, then you can find out as much as you can about the place that we land in. And again, think about what questions you might like to ask. So what languages do they speak there? What is the climate like? Is it hot and sticky, or is it cold and frosty and shivery? You might ask what animals and plants are native to that place. And again, most importantly, what is the food like there? What are you going to have for lunch? So if you do have a globe, you can go away and get your globe. If you do not, you don't have to worry, because I have a mini globe here and I'm going to spin it, and we're going to stop and see where we go. Are you ready? Set. Ooh, oh my goodness. Wow, we have landed. Pack your imaginary suitcases, people. We are going to Easter Island. Amazing. So just one quick reminder before you go. If you are doing the factual find and going to come up with something non-fiction, just be very careful when you're looking on the internet and make sure that you have a grown-up with you, just to check that the information that you're getting is safe and that it's really what you're looking for. So set off to Easter Island. Let's go elsewhere. You can press pause now, and then you can press play again when you wish to resume, or you can simply continue for the next activity.
Ooh, I'm off to Easter Island, and I'm not even going to leave my house. I found a key, a rusty key. I wonder who this key could belong to. A giant? A fairy? A gnome? A pirate? Who could this key belong to? I wonder. What does it open? A door? a box, a chest, or a portal to a different world. I wonder what I will find when I use this key and find out what it's for. If you found a key, who would it belong to? Where would it take you? What would it open? Write a poem, a story, draw a picture, or a comic. You can press pause just now to get started, play to return, or continue for the next activity.
So from opening doors to opening letters, I absolutely love letters. And since I was a girl, I have been collecting letter openers. So I have a big bundle of letter openers. Now, normally, if I get a letter and it's something really boring like a bill, I don't bother using one of my beautiful collection. I just use a blunt knife or an old lolly stick, or sometimes I just tear it with my finger. But if I get a special letter from someone I love, someone in my family, or a friend, or a reader, I will choose one of these lovely letter openers. And I'm going to show you some of them just now because they take me elsewhere when I think about them. Let's choose. That's a beautiful one from quite an antique one with an old dark wood from Zambia. This is also from Zambia. It's mukwa wood. It's quite sharp at the end. See that beautiful grain in the wood, and it's opened some wonderful letters. I have a cardinal bird from North America, a beautiful red bird. So when I use this one, it makes me think of America, and I love getting letters from America too. Now I have a Scottish one in here. It's a sword, sort of Celtic sword. Reminds me of old battles and things like that. And there's also one of my favorites, a crocodile. Amazing. I would love to open a letter with this. Now, there is something magical about letters. Letter openers sort of are a bit like magic wands. When you open a letter and read a letter, somebody that sent you that letter has sent it. They've written it just for you, and they've sent it from elsewhere because they're not in the same place as you. It's a very special thing to do, to write a letter. When you write a letter to somebody else, when they get that letter and they read it, they're receiving and reading a letter from elsewhere. And elsewhere is wherever you were when you wrote that letter. So now I would like to challenge you to write a letter from elsewhere. Now you can write the letter to whoever you please. You can write it to a family member or a friend. You can write it to someone you miss or someone that you admire. You could even write it to a fictional character or one of your soft toys. Whoever it is you write the letter to, have a think about where that letter is going to end up and send it from one elsewhere to another. So let's go. You can press pause now and get creative with your letter writing, and then press play again when you're ready to join in. Otherwise, keep going for the next activity.
Oh, now this activity is taken from this book of cards, the And Then series, Story Starters, and it was written by M.H. Clark and illustrated by Alexandra Ball. And it's full of cards just like this, with stories started that you can finish. So this story is about to begin. Listen in and see where you would take it next. Mr. and Mrs. Cornelius live in a big stone mansion at the end of my street. Whenever it's rainy, I take my umbrella and walk over to visit them because they have the most beautiful library in all of the world. It has stained glass windows and miles of books. They have tiny books as small as a songbird and huge books as big as me. Some of the books have old maps, and some of the books have fairy tales from all over the world, printed in golden ink. Most days I pull a book from the shelf and sit in the velvet armchair with a plate of Mrs. Cornelius's cookies. But something extraordinary happened last week. When I pulled a book from the top shelf, a secret panel swung open. And then, to write your own ending to that story, push pause and get started. Push play to return, or keep going for the next activity.
So, magical carpets have been flying around in stories for centuries, since ancient times. And magical carpet stories have now, we know, have their origin in the Middle East and North Africa. There's also quite a few magical carpets in more recent stories. I wonder if you know any. My Auntie Lillian was an amazing storyteller, and she dreamt up an idea of a magical tiger skin rug. Now, she didn't write her story in the end, but I wrote one that's inspired by her idea, and I'm going to read you an extract from it now. It's called Tiger Skin Rug. So, the book is about two brothers, Lal and Dilip, and their friend Jenny. The brothers have just moved to Scotland and discovered a tiger skin rug in the drawing room of their house. They also discover that it's not just any old rug. In fact, when Dilip whispers to the rug comes to life and transforms into a real tiger. The tiger needs the children to help it to keep an old promise, and that way it will be able to rest in peace. So the children set off with the tiger, and they set off riding on the tiger's back. The tiger edged its hind backwards and sank its head into its shoulders. We tensed inwards with our elbows and ankles. The big cat twitched in this position for a few long moments, as though about to pounce on some imaginary prey. Its haunches trembled, and suddenly, swiftly, it sprang forwards, pushing with its strong back legs, and we tucked in our knees and we held our breath as up we went, and up and up and up. I gasped, my tummy somersaulted. Above the houses, above streets, the school, the fields, we flew. We were so high that the farms below looked like Dilip's toy farm, and then like Jenny's picture books, and then like a dream. I pressed my lips closed against the cold air. Look! Look at the tiger! Jenny shrieked. I didn't need to look. I could feel it, the tiger transforming. This time it was morphing from underneath us, levelling out to a rug again. It was hair-raisingly scary, but our palms stayed firm and flat against the thick streaked skin. Jenny laughed out, "A magic carpet!" and she gathered us in close to the middle. I hadn't thought of Jenny as all that brave before, but now here she was, here we all were, flying into the dimming light, far from ground, and not knowing where we were going. And you'll have to read the book to find out where they do go. Where would you go if you could go anywhere, elsewhere, on a magic carpet? What would your carpet look like? Who would be with you on the carpet? And where would the carpet take you. You could write a poem, you could write a short story, you could even write a comic strip. And here's an easy way to do one. If you fold a piece of paper in half 3 times, keep folding, and then write some pen over it. You can start with your title in the first box, and you can go right to the end. And every time you come to one of those boxes, just think about the feelings and the senses and the colours, and make your cartoon strip really stand out. Of course, you don't have to do a comic. You can do whatever you like. You could even just illustrate a really fancy carpet. I would love to see where your carpet takes you. So let's fly elsewhere. You can press pause now and go and get creative and come and press play again when you're ready, or you can simply continue for the next activity.
The woods are deep, the woods are wide. I wonder, do you wonder what we'll find inside? A tiny, tiny wee mouse with a big, long tail. Scampering here, scampering there, scampering, scampering everywhere. The woods are deep, the woods are wide. I wonder, do you wonder what we'll find inside? A happy wee robin flitting nearby. Tweet, tweet, chirp, tweet, tweet, chirp. The woods are deep, the woods are wide. I wonder, do you wonder what we'll find inside? A red squirrel with a bushy tail. Squirrely, squirrely, shake your little tail. Squirrely, squirrely, shake your little tail. The woods are deep, the woods are wide. I wonder, do you wonder what we'll find inside? An owl with 2 wide eyes. Twit, twoo, twit, twoo, who are you? The woods are deep, the woods are wide. I wonder, do you wonder what we'll find inside? A hoppity hare with big long ears and a twitchity witchety nose. See hare run, off he goes. The woods are deep, the woods are wide. I wonder, do you wonder what we'll find inside? An otter by the water. Splish splash, splish splash, splish splash. The woods are deep, the woods are wide. I wonder, do you wonder what we'll find inside? A bear. A bear is waking up there, off to find some berries. The woods are deep, the woods are wide. I I found an acorn deep inside the woods. An acorn for making wishes. I'm going to hold the acorn in my hand and make a wish for elsewhere. Happy wishes in my acorn. You can write a story, a poem, draw a picture, or make a comic about walking in the woods. Who do you see there? What do you smell? What does it feel like? Or write a poem about the wishes you would put into an acorn. Press pause to play or to write, press play to return, or continue on.
Have you heard of 7-league boots? They're found in old stories and in some more recently written stories too. One of my all-time favourite books features 7-league boots. It's called Howl's Moving Castle by Diana Wynne Jones. And in it, when Wizard Howl is wearing a pair of these 7-league boots, for every step that he takes, he can travel 7 leagues. I wonder how far that is. I wonder if you could find out how far 1 league is. It's quite an old-fashioned way of measuring distance. But that's not really your task today. I am always on the lookout for 7-league boots. I look in flea markets and charity shops, and I hope they'll come back into the high fashion magazines, but I've never found a pair of 7-league boots that will take me in just 1 step a whole distance. I have got this lovely magical little shoe though. It's a lovely shoe that belonged to my little boy, and when he was little he used to wear it, but it doesn't fit me, but he used to go on all sorts of adventures wearing this little shoe. And I remember some of the little stories that he told when he was wearing this shoe, and they did seem like he was traveling to pretty magical places when he put them on. Anyway, the shoe doesn't fit me, and I can't find any 7-league boots in the shops. So I was thinking of just trying to design my own. And I thought, since you are all incredible inventors, maybe you would like to join me and design a pair of boots too. I wonder what your boots would be like. I wonder what shape they would be and what they would be made of. Would they be really fashionable shoes? Would they be glittery on the outside? Would they have high heels? Or would you design a pair of flip-flops that take you into the beach and you can swim under the sea in them and they turn into flippers? Or maybe your boots are space boots and they take you to other planets or something like that. Boots or shoes that take you somewhere elsewhere. Now, because we know that we have to tread lightly on our planet when we're walking, we have to think about the environment even when we're wearing magical shoes. And I think it's the same in other worlds and other fantasy worlds that we might make up. We have to look after those places, don't we? So I would also like you to think about the material that you make your boots or shoes out of. And you might like to think about using recyclable material or recycled material, or maybe some natural fibres. Now, your boots or shoes can look any way you like. You might like to describe them in words, or you might like to describe them in drawing, and I bet there are some incredible illustrators amongst you out there. Or you could do a bit of both. You could draw a picture and label it. I would love to see that. So take your time and think about your boots. Think about what it is that is most useful about them, especially if you think about where they're going to take you. It wouldn't be very good traveling to the North Pole where it's very, 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 very cold if you're in a pair of sandals. Unless they're magical sandals, of course, and you can tell us about that. So you can make your boots or shoes high-tech, you can make them technicolored, you can make them traditional looking, or you can make them high fashion or futuristic. I just can't wait to see where your boots to elsewhere take you. So you can pause now to get creative, press play again when you're done, or just hang on for us to say cheerio.
We've had a lovely time going elsewhere, haven't we, Joan?
Oh, it's been great. We've been to so many places, into the woodlands and all over the globe. We went to Easter Island, didn't we?
I totally look forward to seeing what everybody has written and drawn and the poems. Oh, please do send them in. It has been so lovely to spend time with you all today going elsewhere.
Take care.
And we hope you have a lovely day.